Mic'd up.
All right. Welcome to Yankees Coast to Coast, Yankee fans everywhere. This is a great night. I'm with Mike Miller. I'm Adam Schneider. We are here and happy. Nothing quite like beating the Red Sox. What do you say, Mike?
I think beating anybody in the playoffs is a good thing. Beating the Red Sox is a very good thing. Anytime you beat the Red Sox, it's a very good thing. I don't have indifference toward the Red Sox like I have towards the Mets.
That's a different story there, huh?
Yeah, that's a different story. So I think the story is pretty easy. Schlitler threw a lot of Schlit at him, and they didn't hit it.
Amazing. 12 strikeouts?
12 strikeouts, no walks, 5 hits. 5 hits. Nobody reached second base. One guy reached second base, and no 3-ball counts past the second inning. He was in total command of everything. I mean, it looked like the only guy that knew what the hell he was doing was Yoshida, and even Yoshida, the last time up, didn't do anything. So, amazing. It was all Schlitler all the way, all the time. I would have actually let him go out there for the 9th inning, batter by batter, and at the very least, just so he could get another ovation, let him go out there and warm up, and then take him out before the inning starts, which you're allowed to do, and let Bednar come in after that kind of hysteria would have gone on. It would have been kind of fun to do, and it was nice. The Yankees did everything they could. 47th anniversary of Bucky Dent, home run. Bucky Dent throws out the first pitch.
And our buddy Steve gets to see him at some event in New Jersey or wherever he was.
No, it was at a supermarket. He said it was at a supermarket.
Was he at a supermarket?
Yeah, I thought he said it was at a supermarket.
No, he said no, fast food joint. He was doing a
fast
signing
food,
at a fast food
joint. He was signing at a fast food joint. How the mighty have fallen.
Well, they'll pay. They'll pay. As long as they pay, he's happy.
But at what point do you have to have? Never mind. We don't need to talk about Bucky Dent because you know how I feel. Anyhow, it was all Schlitler all the time. The other thing that I noticed, and I noticed it from the beginning of the game, Judge. I don't remember him ever in the playoffs in any year, even when he was not doing poorly, look as relaxed and smiley as he looked all this series. From his first at bat to his last at bat, he actually looked relaxed. It helped. It helped that he went. He went 4 for 11 in the series. I think it helps that he was
364.
Yeah, but still, he looked very calm, cool, and collected. And he looked like he was enjoying himself, and the tension didn't get to him. So it was amazing.
No, I mean, it couldn't be. You got to be happy. I hate this series. Just go on the record. I hate this series. I don't like 3. I used to hate the 5-game series when I was, during the early years, when they were winning every year. This was the one I stressed out. I stressed at the 5-game series. It seemed too easy to lose to go down 2-0 and then blow it. And the Yankees always in those days seemed to go down. They'd lose the first game and they give you a little stress. Sometimes they'd lose the second and then come back and have to win the rest. And it just always made me crazy.
I actually think it's great for baseball, but it's horrible.
I agree. I don't like it.
It's great for baseball. It's great for baseball. Bad for you personally and me personally when your team is in the playoffs.
Because for my Kishkis. I have a hard time with my Kishkis.
And so the other thing is the Yankees are now going to go to Toronto, who's been sitting around for 5 days, and that might not be a bad thing for the Yankees. On top of that, despite what they said in this thing, since they've gone to this format with 4 wild card series, which has only been for a few years, no team has gone from losing the first game to winning the series. When they had a wild card series in the past, that wasn't like this. Yes, that's happened. But since they've gone to this format with the 4 wild card series, and since they've gone to this format with the 4 wild card series, it's the first time that the number 4 seed has ever won. Now it's only 4 seasons, but still, the number 4 seed is lost every single time in this round of 3, which goes to what you're saying of if they're the 4th best team, that means they're the first wild card and they're getting eliminated right away. But, the first wild card sometimes has a worse record than the third third and second team. But this year, the Yankees had a better record than everybody in the league and a tied record with Toronto. So they were the number 4 seed, but they had the most wins in the league. So it's going to be interesting.
Interesting
I think they
dynamic.
should.
Yeah.
I think they should. I think they should
Who's the best team?
reseed. I think they should reseed based on record after this round, so that the teams with the best record, and I've said that before, is now I think the Yankees should be the number 2 seed behind Toronto, and they should be the home team for this because they have a better record than everybody except for Toronto, who has the tie break again.
They play Toronto, so you think that they should reseed and the Yankees should play, the Twins, the Mariners right now?
Yes, I think the Yankees should be playing home against the Mariners right now.
Yeah, but I think the Yankees are happy not to have to travel.
Oh, I'd rather not play the Mariners. You know how I feel about the Mariners. I'd rather not play the Mariners.
I don't think the Yankees. I think the Yankees are fine. I think the Yankees know this team very well. I think the Yankees know they can beat Toronto. The
biggest thing about Toronto is they're the team that doesn't strike out. Now, I don't know. Was Bichette even playing? I don't know the answer to that question.
Good question.
So, but they're the team that doesn't strike out, and that contact is painful. But they also don't have nearly as good a pitching as the Red Sox do. They don't have a Crochet at the top of their rotation. So we'll see what happens. And their back end of their bullpen is not Chapman of 2025. So we'll see what happens there. The other reason I would have left Schlitler in is they play Saturday, Sunday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Wednesday would be Schlitler on regular rest. I would let Warren start game 3 or Heel, whoever they decide. I think it'll be Heel because that's the way it's going to be. And then let Schlitler start game 4 because the Yankees aren't going to go with 3 starters like they used to do in the old days. Yeah. And I would let Schlitler have an extra day's rest. And I think they're going to do that anyhow at 107 pitches. But that's why I would let him start the 9th. Yes, you do have to save. I think it was Tony who texted in the middle and said you got to be careful with your young arms. I agree with that sentiment, but I don't agree with regard to how Schlitler was pitching. He had a 7-pitch inning. Exactly the reasons why I was okay with Fried coming out, where he was going backwards. Schlitler wasn't going backwards, and his last pitch was still 99. Although in the post-game interview, Schlitler said he was a little surprised they let him pitch the 8th. So maybe he was starting to mentally turn it off as well. Who knows?
Yeah. Listen, I think it's great. I think they. I was proud of Boone. He didn't cave. I'm sure the analytics guys are saying pulling after the 4th inning. Take him up to the 4th.
So Caro was the best. Was it Steve Caro who wrote that Max Fried has Boone tied up in the dugout so he doesn't take Schlitler out? I thought that was the best. That was the best line of the night. By far, the best line. That was Steve, wasn't it? That was the best line.
Steve or Mark? Was it Steve or Mark?
It was one of those Carroll brothers. They all look alike. Those Carroll brothers. So the other thing that I thought was interesting is in the 4th inning when the Yankees scored all their runs, right? Stanton got a nice walk, right, after the belly hustle double on the bloop. Rice then looked awful and nervous against the left-handed pitcher.
Terrible.
So the analytic guys were probably in the dugout saying, "See, we told you so. We told you so." But then Rosario got up and
huge hit.
He got a hit. So again, the analytics guys were saying, "I told you so. I told you so." But then Jazz got up and got a hit. So then the rest of the world was saying, "I told you so. I told you so."
This is what's annoying about this whole analytics thing, and I'm going to tell you now why. Because we all know baseball bases its batting average, and everything in many cases, but a batting average based on base 10. So 10 is always how many hits out of 10? What's your percentage?
Right.
And if you're going to get a great hitter is going to get 3 hits in every 10 at bats, and a good hitter is going to get 2.5 hits in every 10 at bats, then you're going to get a hit. You're going to get your hits. So the difference in a short sample size is you're going to make it. You're going to surprise the world with a single every now and again.
And it's not even a surprise. It's if a guy is hot, you got to play him in the playoffs.
That's it. And so you got to have a feel. This is where feel is so important.
And that's the crapshoot. The crapshoot that the Yankees say the playoffs are is wrong. It's a crapshoot because the math people say it's too small a sample size for everything to work. So you have to get lucky, and it's a crapshoot because that's what a craps is. Craps is a luck. But that's BS, because if you watch the game and you watch what's happening, what you see is what you get. And when a guy is hot, Volpe is a perfect example, right? Volpe will go red hot for 2 weeks and ice cold for 3. And if you get Volpe in his 2 weeks of hot, which he ended the season pretty hot, you want to play him every day. But when he's struggling, you got to sit his butt down. And you got to go with the hot guy. And going with not playing Rice in the first game and not, I think was a mistake. Grisham has horrible numbers against Crochet. He's the guy that should have sat if you were going to be all analytical, but they weren't going to do that because then they would have, had to play Dominguez or somebody in the outfield. They could have played Rosario or Caballero in the outfield and sat McMahon and played the other at third and played Jazz and played Rice. I mean, obviously Goldschmidt had 2 hits, so that worked as well. But the Yankees, this idea of it being a crapshoot, I really hope the Yankees wake up and realize it's not, and that's the challenge. Yeah. You look at what happened today with the Tigers played the same 9 players all 3 games of their series, rearranged their batting order today because of their statistics against the pitching, and they've got obviously a lot of games against Cleveland, and it worked for them. The Cubs, the Cubs just did what the Cubs do. They played unbelievable defense and made a lot of contact, didn't strike out a lot. And San Diego panicked and brought their closer in the 4th inning or whatever it was today because they panicked and didn't watch everything. So, it's just a strange world. You gotta watch things. You can't just be purely numbers.
You can't. And
because it's also an emotional. I mean, it's not like marketing for a company. It's not like the algorithms on Facebook or Google or Snapchat or TikTok, where things just feed each other. So Yankees got to be better run in this series than they have been now that they got the first series.
Agreed. Okay, so let's talk about some of these guys, what they did tonight. I want to shout out to McMahon. I think the play and I bet you if anybody talks to him and asks him, he probably said it's not the greatest play he's ever made. It wasn't, but it looked so damn good and it happened at the right time.
He probably said the catch was tough, but the fall was, And what was interesting is Buster Olney said that he was right by the dugout, and McMahon caught the ball, ran into the fence, and was able to get his hand out and be able to do this and make the play. And then, as you saw, the Red Sox players did after he made the catch and spun over.
Because when he flipped over, they're not going to help him make the catch. But when it's clear he's going to get hurt,
yes, that's what they jumped in. I agree.
And they did step in. I thought that showed something there.
Yeah. But, and then the last catch, and then they just like you did. I think it was you who invoked the Charlie Hayes situation. When he made the last catch of the game, they also invoked the Charlie Hayes comment that you invoked. It's almost like they were reading some of the texts that we had going back and forth during the course of the game.
Yeah, that was a great moment. Very happy. How about Wells at bat? Wells had an at bat tonight that I got to tell you, it's one of those things where it would really be nice if Wells would learn, how important just making contact is. I'd love that to be sort of a study in you don't need to hit a home run to win a game every time. You can just win with timely hitting and just annoying the pitcher to death. And he did a great job in one of his at bats tonight.
He actually looked good in almost all his at bats, even though he struck out.
I gotta tell you, he only hit 222, but he looked good.
He looks like he's comfortable at the plate. And I don't think batting against the lefty bothers him very much. I think he's the same against righties and lefties. I mean, I do think he has to. I mean, he came up as an offensive catcher and not a defensive catcher, but you can clearly see how good he is defensively.
That's right.
And, I mean, I took a lot of notes today. Unlike you, I was taking notes because I'm sitting here by myself. And realistically, he had really good at bats. Even the one that wasn't catcher's interference, the ball he hit to low, he hit it in the right spot, and he hit it hard and load it and make the play. And, that was obviously big because it knocked in 2 more runs, even though he doesn't get any RBIs for it. But he had great at-bats. Grisham pissed me off. Leading off the game, didn't swing 1 pitch and struck out. The second time he gets up, swings at the first pitch and he freaking gets a hit. I don't understand how you get up there for 6 pitches and don't swing. I mean, unless it's a walk, obviously. I mean, he struck out. It just, and Judge still looks
how many
comfortable.
strikeouts did he have in the series? 6, 7, 6?
I don't know.
Trying to look and see what he did. I have them all
Well, he had
here.
four. He had four the first game, and he had one today.
Struck out 5 times. One hit 167. Had a fabulous on base percentage of 231.
He went 2 for 12 in the series.
2 for 12. 1 double. Double was important. 1 walk, but
he had a hit
not very much else. And
the thing is,
I'm also, I gotta tell you what is it? Why don't they have the Yankees have a good double play conversation? And I hate to say this because I know it's really important. They won the game, we should be very happy. But I'd love to see a little bit more communication between short and second. I don't get it. It just doesn't seem like Grisham and Volpe are ever in the same beat. I thought Volpe made an amazing play, scooping that ball.
Jazz palmed the ball when he went to throw it. It was a physical error, not a mental error.
Yeah,
and on the second one, I don't think they were going to turn the double play. And I think Jazz pulled the ball out of his glove and said, I don't have a grip, and got a grip and made the good throw to Volpe, even though they had no shot at a double play. I don't think they were going to turn a double play anyhow on that one.
Just looks awkward. It looks awkward to me. But listen, we're not gonna make any bad comments tonight about the Yankees. There are things very happy about this game.
Jazz had good bats today. Volpe had I thought Volpe's at bat against Chapman was his best swings since, he looked terrible yesterday, and he looked better at the plate today, but he looked really good against Chapman. He had really good swings, and I was impressed with that because, he started having his butt into the third base dugout again, starting at the end of game 1 and all through game 2. So that was pretty nice to see that he had a good at bat against 101. So that was nice to see. Well, hopefully he'll be able to get that together and keep hitting the ball to right field and driving it.
Listen, right-handers should hit 101. Nobody has a hard time hitting 100 anymore. It's just if it's a lefty-righty issue. That's the problem. It's hard for a lefty to hit a lefty right-hand, lefty 100 miles an hour, especially the way. A couple of reasons. First, the way Chapman throws, but also because he's got this killer slider. So he can when he can get them, off kilter very easily. So I think lefties have an incredibly difficult time against someone like Chapman. But I think somebody like Volpe should be able to hit Chapman because he's not trying to hit the ball too hard. He should try to make contact, go the other way, do what you can.
I thought speaking of that, I thought Bellinger looked a little off this series.
I think he's hurt. He looked like he was limping at the end.
We both noticed that he not quite the Mickey Rivers syndrome, where he looks like he's about to drop dead when he's walking around, but he walks funny. And if you didn't know he was playing Major League Baseball and you saw him on the street and looked at his eyes, there's something funky there. You'd think he was wasted.
Yeah, smoking the dope.
Almost like he's got a lazy eye or something. But hey, the guy's a great player. The fact that he ran that into a double shows, this is the kind of player he is.
God, he is great. That was beautiful.
Yeah, they got to keep it.
Yeah, I'd like to see them keep him. I don't think they will, but I'd like to see it. But that's for another show. Okay, anything else you want to share?
No, but Schlitler is the Schlit.
Go to it. He is the Schlit.
Yep.
And we will do. We got a night off. We'll do a show on. We could do a pregame if you want before the Saturday night game if we want. Mm-hmm. We'll talk about that. But most certainly we'll do a post game. I like post games, especially quick ones.
Yep.
And anyway, and again, sorry about last night. Some folks called me and said, "What happened? We thought we were going to see you." Kramer decided not to join us, so we don't know what happened. Dan Kramer had a bit of a hard time getting online last night, but that's okay.
Well, he's 117 years old, and those people that age are not.
You know how it is. These alpha cockers, it's a little hard. But anyway, I want to thank everybody for coming. We'll see it. We'll be putting up on YouTube later on. And we'll keep talking baseball. All right.
All right. Take it easy, fellas, and have a good day if anybody's watching. Don't forget
have fun in prison.
On YouTube. All our old shows are on YouTube as well. Bye-bye.
Yes. Bye-bye.